they did a horrible job with the reply. You know what they told her? They told her that it was an issue with YouTube and she needed to contact YouTube customer support, which is completely ridiculous because it had nothing to do with YouTube at all. It had to do with copyright issues that DistroKid was having internally with that song because it was previously released under a different name with DistroKid. Because my revolutionary faculties got me switching up the game and changing minds. Get them out the system, I'll be saving lives. Have you ever had an issue releasing your music to the streaming platforms through your distributor and you reach out to their customer service and they just take forever, or maybe they don't even message back at all? Well, I've had this happen to my music, and I had it happen with an artist that I was working with as well. Let me go ahead and tell you that story. It's crazy. But before I get into that, for those of you who don't know, my name is Harkos, and this right here is the Music Making Sense podcast, where it's all about music marketing, branding, and how to have success. Real success as an independent artist. And in order to have real success, you have to make sure that your music business runs smooth. And distributing your music to all the streaming platforms is a pivotal point in that music business. Now, I know that there's a lot of contention about streaming platforms and their payouts and everything like that. And I've talked about that before here on this channel. And I'm actually going to be creating more content about that in the future. So if you're interested in that kind of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. That way you never miss an episode here at Music Making Sense podcast. But anyway, when you're distributing your music to the platforms, and you run into a technical issue, or maybe you just have a general question, you want your issue to be handled fast and properly. And that's the kind of thing that happened to an artist that I was working with named Angelwreck. Now, if you're not familiar with her, she is a female punk artist, and we started working together in January of 2025. And she had already been putting her music out through DistroKid before we even started working together with her marketing. Now, I'm personally partnered with Landr, and I've been with them for quite a while. They have great customer service, and I told her about their customer service and how I haven't had any issues out of them, and recommended that she switch whenever her subscription with DistroKid was done because of all the bad things that DistroKid is known for. But she didn't want to because she had already been with them for a couple years, and she said she never ran into any issues with them. So I just went ahead and left it right there and continued helping her with her marketing strategy. I helped her set up a release schedule and a content creation and posting schedule, and then we started implementing the full strategy that I created for her. And around February of 2025, she had an issue uploading one of the releases that she was trying to put out through DistroKid. And this song in particular was actually a song that she had previously put out under a different artist name a few years previous with DistroKid. And she had already completed the takedown request process and all of that over a year before she tried to re-upload it again under her new different artist name. But she was still running into a copyright issue with DistroKid. So she reached out to their customer service, and she immediately got the auto-response email that you always get saying that they will reach out to her within a couple of business days. Well, 3 weeks later, 3 weeks, she had still not heard anything back from them, and she had reached out 3 other times over that time span and heard nothing but crickets. So she messaged me and said, Harkos, screw these guys. I'm done with DistroKid. I'm coming over to Landr. And I said, hey, before you switch over, use my link right here and you'll get 20% discount and you'll be good to go. So she used my link, which you can also find that link down below in the description if you want to get 20% off as well, like she did. But anyway, so she moved all of her music over from DistroKid to Landr, and everything was completely uploaded through Landr, and she completed the takedown request through DistroKid. And as those were all processing, then they emailed her back. It had been 50 days exactly from the time she submitted the first email to when they finally emailed her back. And when they did email her back, they did a horrible job with the reply. You know what they told her? They told her that it was an issue with YouTube and she needed to contact YouTube customer support, which is completely ridiculous because it had nothing to do with YouTube at all. It had to do with copyright issues that DistroKid was having internally with that song because it was previously released under a different name with DistroKid. Now, whenever she came over to Landr and uploaded all of her music, she uploaded that song. And she ran into the same issue with Landr on that song. And so she reached out to Landr's customer service, and the next day, she got a reply back from a human saying that they understood exactly what was going on, they ran into it before, and they were going to mark her account. So if any other issue like this happens with any of her other music, she won't even have to worry about contacting them because they'll handle it internally offline, and she won't have to reach back out to them. Now, I don't know about you, but that is great customer service. And I'm not just saying that because I have a partnership with Landr. I'm saying that because it's genuinely great customer service. She had previously put out multiple songs under an old name, took everything down, and re-uploaded it under a new name. They understood that. And they also understood that she's clearly going to run into this issue multiple times. So for Landr as a company to recognize the reality of that situation uniquely and then put something in place to prevent that from happening again on the customer, the artist side, that's great human-based customer service. And she's not the only one that I've ever heard having any kind of issues with the other distributors and their customer service. I've heard bad things about DistroKid and every other platform from all kinds of artists. But over the time that I've personally been with Landr, I haven't heard anything bad from anybody that I recommended to switch over to Landr. And if you want to switch over, don't forget, use that link down below in the description and get 20% off. That way you're saving a lot of money, okay? But even personally with my music, I've not had any issues from Landr. Okay, you know what? I take that back because I did have one issue with a song and I couldn't find the license agreement for the beat, okay? And so when I uploaded the song to Landr, I got a reply back saying that there's a copyright issue with the instrumental and that I needed to send them the copy of the agreement. So I reached out to Landr support and I told them, I'm like, hey, look, I can't find the licensing agreement, but it's already currently uploaded with Empire Distribution and I'm just transferring it over. Here's the ISRC, everything like that, right? Now, you notice that I said Empire Distribution, not DistroKid or any other DIY platform, right? Empire, okay? A lot of people hold that on a higher level, okay? But Landr replied back and they're like, hey, look, we understand it's already been uploaded through Empire. But through technicalities and copyright laws and everything, they told me that they couldn't switch that song over because I wasn't able to prove to Landr that I had the rights for the beat. And they needed to be able to cover their own bases, right? We'll say bases. So instead of me having a back and forth argument with them, I just went ahead and leased the beat again a second time because I lost the license. That's on me, right? And then I just sent them the new paperwork and then they approved it. And I've not had any issues ever since. And honestly, that was kind of an issue on me, right? But whenever I reached out to Landr, they helped me out immediately, no issues, okay? And look, these kinds of things that I just mentioned and many other things will happen when you release music. But if you're dealing with a distribution platform like DistroKid, for instance, that doesn't get back to you in a timely fashion or any time of fashion at all, or they'll hit you with an AI bot or a general response or an incorrect response like you saw with Angelwreck, or something that has nothing to do with your specific answer, then you're not going to be able to get anything accomplished. And you're going to be even more frustrated because of this. And if you've ever had to deal with horrible customer service from DistroKid or TuneCore or anybody like that, or maybe you haven't had to deal with customer service at all because you either haven't subscribed to DistroKid or Landr or TuneCore, or maybe you are subscribed to one of them and you just haven't had any issue yet. Let me go ahead and walk you through the customer service response process for all three, DistroKid, Landr, and TuneCore. Now, I went ahead and got the basic level description for DistroKid and TuneCore so I could show you all the back end of the customer service process, even though I don't use them because I use Landr. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so here we are at DistroKid's dashboard, and let's go ahead and go down to the bottom of the page right here where it says Support Center. Now, it brings you to the DistroKid Help Center, which has some standard categories, and they even have a search option on here for typing your own question to get some FAQ style response. But at the bottom right here, it says Contact Us if you don't know what you're looking for. So when you click this link, it will automatically bring up the DistroKid chatbot. Now, every platform has a chatbot, and pretty much every website, honestly, has a chatbot now, thanks to AI growing in popularity and ease of use. But their Contact Us option with DistroKid is, hey, talk to this bot. You don't even get an option to send an email to an actual human. And look, even if you go through all of the steps here in the chatbot in order to get the option to send an email to a real person, I've already told you an example before where they don't even get back to you in a hurry or at all. So their customer service doesn't really exist. It's just a bunch of FAQs and a chatbot. Now, I don't know about you, but AI and FAQs can sometimes help out. But when you have a specific issue for a specific song, you want a specific response. But DistroKid just says, don't talk to us. Talk to our bot or read this article. That's completely ridiculous. All right? So that was DistroKid. Now, let's hop on over to TuneCore and check out their customer service process. All right, now here I am in my TuneCore dashboard, and if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see an option for help, an option for chat support, and an option for contact us. Now, if you click the option for help, it's just an FAQ style page, just like almost all of the other distribution platforms. You can type in your own thing and go ahead and read some articles, and maybe you'll find the right answer. Or you can go back to the home page and click on chat support. Now, that will pop up a virtual agent, aka a chatbot, and you can sit here and ask different questions. And I'm sure at some point, just like every other platform, it will give you the option to email customer support. Now, you can also skip this step with TuneCore by just clicking the Contact Us section. Now, it will take you to a new page, and it will give you the option for searching, and that will give you the FAQ articles and stuff like that, just like the help page did. But you also have the option right here to submit a request. Now, if you scroll down a little bit, TuneCore will say how they're open 7 days a week, and here are their hours in Eastern time, and their response times vary based on the plan that you have. So it looks like 1 to 3 business days, depending on how much you're paying them every single month. But either way, it's immediately putting you to articles or a chatbot first, and then it gives you the option to submit a request. And that's kind of crazy in my opinion, but it's their business, not mine. And I always say this about every business, but I can't run everybody's business. All right. I just don't have the time or the patience, honestly. But that was TuneCore. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Landr. All right, so here we are in the distribution dashboard for Landr. Now, I personally have the Landr Pro Studio, which gives you everything that they have. So I have other options here at the top for mastering, plugins, samples, and everything like that. But we're just going to be focusing on the distribution portion. Now, if you go over here and you click on your face and you hover over the help and feedback section, you will see an option for FAQs if you want to use those, because some people like to. But you also have the option right here to contact support. Now, when you do that, it takes you to a new page and gives you the option straight away to submit a request to an actual person. And then you go ahead and you click on the topic, and then you will put in your email address. You'll have a subtopic. Enter the subject, write whatever you want, add any attachments if you need to, and then hit submit. And you're done. Right there, you're on the way to talking to a real person via email. Now, I will show you right here over in the bottom right, they have a section right here that says help. And if you click on that, Landr has a chatbot as well if you want to use that. But if you notice, it doesn't immediately try to send you to a chatbot first or an FAQ section first. It gives you the option to speak with a real person first and foremost. And if you want to read FAQs, it has that available. But if you notice, it doesn't immediately try to send you to a chatbot first. It gives you the option to speak with a real person first and foremost. And if you want to read FAQs, it has it available. If you want to chat with a chatbot, it has that available. But Landr's customer human support centers on giving you real support from a real person. And with Landr, you will get a response from a real person within 1 to 5 business days. And see, this is exactly why I came over to Landr, and I've stayed with Landr for all this time. They have real customer service, but most importantly, it's great customer service. And this is why I've been here and I've stayed and I haven't left. And if you're interested in trying Landr, just click the link down below in the description and you'll get 20% off. Go ahead and click that, sign up, upload a song, just one song, try it out, see how smooth it is. If you have any issues, go ahead and reach out to customer service and see how great their customer service is. Hell, just reach out to customer service with a general question. Don't even worry about uploading a song yet. And you'll see just how great their customer service is. You won't be disappointed. In fact, you will want to move all of your music over to Landr and never go back to another company, which is exactly what I've done with my music. Like I said, I've been putting out my music since 2018 with DistroKid, Empire, Sony Orchard. I went back to Empire Distribution. And then once I found out about Landr, I moved over and I haven't left since because I had no reason to. I get a great deal, great customer service, and Landr doesn't have a reputation for ripping artists off like all the other platforms do. It's not just one company. It's all the DIY companies. So click the link down below and get 20% off and try Landr out right now. And if you have any questions about your marketing strategy, feel free to drop something down in the comment section or just shoot me an email. My link is in the bio of this channel. And until the next time, have a good one. My revolutionary faculties got me switching up the game and changing minds. Get them out the system, I'll be saving lives.